Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are we today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Judah Bernard with the Rise Creating Voice. I am the wisdom dialoguer and the motivational warrior of the Rise Creating Voice. We're just happy to be here on Podbean Live. For those who don't know what Podbean Live is, you can go to the Podbean Live app. Podbean app, and then put on the live stream, and you can see the Rise Creating a Voice, which we are every Tuesday here live. So our topic today is what's your foundation in life, and what's the start of your purpose. The one thing is we did realize that some people may not already have a foundation in their life at the tender age of 30, 40, 50, 60, 13, 15, 16, 17. So we want to give some inspiration and also some information about what is your foundation in life. We found this article by Catherine Beard from The Blissful Mind, and it said, How to Build a Strong Inner Foundation for Your Life. Reading from this is definitely, have you ever thought about whether you have a strong inner foundation that helps to guide your life choices? When they say foundation, they mean the inner structure that helps you live your life with less stress and overwhelming. And we do understand that there are so many things that are stressful in our lives and overwhelming too as well. She goes to say, having a strong inner foundation is an important part of intentional living because it helps you make decisions that shape your future for the better. If your foundation isn't solid, you might feel like life is constantly knocking you down just when things seems to be getting back on track. Even if you've already have a sturdy inner foundation, that doesn't mean it can't sway from side to side sometimes. And how many of us know, I mean, just by raising your hands or just by saying, yeah, mine sway from side to side sometimes. Our strength is constantly tested by the pressures of the world, which brings me to my book that I'm putting out, The Pressures of Our Skin, which should be out by end of September, the 1st of October. And it can take a lot of effort to stay upright because so many pressures come in. And I say pressures because I do understand that with all those pressures, it's sort of like a slow cooker, um, crock pot. That's what they call them. And, once it get all steamy, you explode or things happen. So she's saying with a strong inner foundation, you'll be better able to handle winds of change. You can grow more when you're in a secure space and rooted in what you need and want. And what I'm reading now, she's exploring the idea of creating an inner foundation so you can stay grounded and reduce the stress of daily life. Understanding foundation is what keep you grounded. And I want to do an analogy of what that foundation is. So say you're building a house. It has to have a foundation. And we pour the concrete and we see if it's set right and all that other stuff, any cracks and things are in it before we actually put up the house and things like that, and lay the groundwork for your actual house. So you need that grounding in the foundation of your life too as well. So in it, it says there's a lot of pressures in our daily lives put on us by others and ourselves. How many of you guys can identify that to be true? And you can just raise your hand and talk to yourself. This is opportunity to say, yeah, that's me. Go ahead. Say, that's me. which means we need a sense of structure to help us stay strong. How many of us lack structure? And that's the important thing is if you lack structure at times, you become more prevalent in having these many pressures. If you've been feeling overwhelmed and unable to make any real changes in your life, it may be that you need to work on building your inner foundation. And that's building it. And what does that look for you? Building your inner foundation. Your foundation is whatever you need it to be. Imagine your foundation at the very core of your being. Your foundation keeps you grounded and plants you where you are as you make tiny steps to nourish yourself and prioritize your own needs. One thing that I tell a lot of people, number one is this is not about your spouse. This is not about your children. This is not about people that are around you. This is specifically for you. And this is what the show is about is actually assessing yourself. So many times we want to assess other people and we don't take the time to assess ourselves and give us that time toward ourselves. So without a solid foundation to build your life up on, it's easy to bend and break under pressure. Sometimes it's necessary to bend a little, but you don't want to break. We break sometimes and we got to put ourselves back together. Think of your inner foundation in terms of what supports you and gives you strength. You can build your inner foundation upon your number one, your mindset, the quality of your thoughts. How many of us have a lot of negative thoughts? Number two, your values. What's important to you? Take this time out to see what's important to you. Take this time out to evaluate the quality of your thoughts, your habits, your daily routines that keep you grounded. And when I say habits, I'm talking about good habits. Some people like to do different things that may not have um, good habits that form around them. Your strengths, the things you're naturally good at. Those are strengths. The things you're naturally good at, like some people are good at counting money, some people are good at construction, some people are good at building, some people are just good at different things. Relationships, which is number five, people who make you feel secure and supported. Listen to what I said. Relationships, people who make you feel secure and supported. And that feeling is just not for a moment. That feeling is for a lifetime, okay? If you're constantly trying to make changes in your life, but nothing seems to stick, consider first whether you have the foundation necessary to support you. Sometimes that foundation crumbles when you feel like it has been stuck there for some time. Scott H. Young says, building your foundation isn't a one-time event. Habits will slip and you will need to rebuild them periodically. Your goals may change, forcing you to change your foundation to suit them. But if you have spent the time investing in a foundation initially, these changes are maintenance, not a complete reconstruction. So, building a solid foundation here are some things to think about when it comes to your own foundation in life, which we talked about. Number one, which is mindset. What thoughts do you need to believe about yourself to feel supported? Let me repeat that. What thoughts do you need to believe about yourself to feel supported? The next is, how can you be more mindful of your own feelings and behaviors? Number three, how can you focus on the current moment than the past/future? Your values. What do you value in friendships and relationships? For example, a sense of humor, empathy, willingness to change you when necessary. Also, what do you value in your work? Flexibility, reliable coworkers, or independence? Number three, what are the top three values you want to uphold in your own life? Think about how you want others to describe you. The next thing is habits. What are your current daily habits? Are your habits self-supporting or self-defeating? Or number three, what habits would make your life feel more balanced? Here are some examples. Um, just what does that habit look like? Eating healthy, um, making a habit and a lifestyle of exercising. Strengths. What are your biggest strengths? Number two, how do these strengths help support you in your life? And number three, how can you make better use of your strengths in your daily life? And relationships, last but not least, what makes you feel most supported in a relationship and friendship? Who are the people in your life who make you feel grounded? And also, are there any relationships you need to let go of to feel more stable? Those are important in so many ways. Ultimately, a strong inner foundation is what keeps you balanced, stable, and secure. Um, Also, know that what could you achieve if you prioritize inner stability and security. We hope that this works for you. And we just want people to know that we wanted to give some information about that foundation. What's that foundation? What's grounding you in life? And what's the start of your purpose? You have to be grounded and have some type of stability to start your purpose. And I know a lot of people say, well, I'm grounded in my purpose, and God already predestined purpose to be in this life. But if you have not acknowledged it, and that's not acknowledging it, that takes a strong process to acknowledge it, by surrendering and also doing the necessary work so you can move forward in life. Yes, definitely. What does that look like for you? What does that look like for each and every one of us? And we must understand that we must start building that foundation in life. No matter what we do, we have to build that foundation. Okay. Now we want to start off with a mindful exercise, and it's by Inner Light Foundation Meditation by Betty Bathards. And what we want you to do is just sit back and enjoy the music and actually listen to the sound of my voice. But at the end of the day, that we're going to do this for a 20-minute period. And I really want you to take counteractive to this, because basically it's helpful in everyday life. Okay. So let's go ahead and start the piano tranquility. We got to have about 20 minutes of this. So we want you just to sit back and relax. Okay. And you can put on any music if you want to do this yourself and actually go and listen to it. But keep your focus on the songs and the music that you use too as well. Okay. Sit in a chair with your spine erect, shoulders relaxed, feet flat on the floor. Fold your hands together in your lap and close your eyes. Take 3 slow, deep breaths, exhaling to the base of your spine, and feel yourself relaxing. Sit with your hands together for 10 minutes. After these 10 minutes, open your hands, palms up, laying them gently in your lap. Keep your focus on the songs and music. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Exhale into the base of your spine and feel yourself relaxing. Sit with your hands together for 10 minutes. At the end of this second 10-minute period, when your energy is at its highest, most centered point, you can do your affirmations and visualizations such as the perfect career is manifesting in my life now. And whatever you are choosing to create in your life, like wisdom, clarity, or prosperity. If your buttons were jammed during the day, you can review the situation, see what your positive lesson was, and visualize how you would like to have handled it. This way, next time it comes up, as it will until the lesson is learned, you will handle it with love. After you complete your affirmations and visualizations, close your hands into a fist and feel a balloon of white light one block all around you so that you're at the center. This sends love and healing out to the masses and buffers stress and negativity from coming to you. This 20-minute period is over. However, it is not the only meditation practice that we want, but if you want to listen to your own music, then you can do it too as well. Meditation will also help you get a recall on dreams. It is your greatest free tool for self-growth and self-understanding. Meditation can thus help us to be more fully involved in life because we can watch how we set up our own experiences. Sometimes changes are subtle and sometimes dramatic. So that was the guided meditation. How are we feeling? Welcome, James. What's your foundation in life? We're almost through. We wasn't going to do a long one today, so we welcomed everyone and went on about the business.
I'm doing well. So, what's my foundation of life?
What's your foundation in life?
Hmm. Wow. Spirituality.
That's great. And and what we're definitely discussing is those that have not found their spirituality. How are they grounded? Most of the times, they don't know.
True.
What is that inner self within you that you're finding where you can be calm and also find peace in other ways? Just knowing what that foundation is, and just like I gave an analogy earlier about building a house, you have to start somewhere.
True that.
You have to start somewhere, and that's pouring that foundation in. If that foundation or anything has a crack or leak in it, you're going to fix it.
True.
So how do you do it? So I think most people don't understand what that is or have an idea of what grounding themselves mean.
Wow.
So we definitely want to get that information out today. And we talked about how to build a strong inner foundation and just for your life.
True.
Um, Something that you can be helpful. Just like number one, James said that spirituality can be a foundation too. And that's a great foundation. Great foundation. But then again, what's that higher power, that higher being that's in your own life? And spirituality can mean so many different things, but then we only know there's one Holy Spirit,
True that.
and understand what that means. Sometimes, and I tell people all the time that my God doesn't deal in chaos or confusion,
True.
and most people are dealing in chaos and confusion.
True.
So I would rather sit back on the back burner and just let them know that I'm definitely not dealing with that, and that's just too much for me. It's way too much
True.
for me to be dealing for that with that. Where I am in my life now, let's just say that because I
Well,
probably used to do.
I hadn't always been where I am, and I know the journey that I had. It
Hmm.
took me a while to accept. I had to learn how to surrender my life and myself to the Holy Spirit to
Hmm.
where I can gain and have this peace or have the serenity that I have. And it is because of Him,
Hmm.
not because of what I obtain, the education or family or anything of that nature. It's really God through the Holy Spirit that I have the peace, the serenity, as well as the uh, mercy and grace that I do have.
Right. And that's one thing that I let them know that, sometimes we get married or have children and things like that to gain that foundation.
True.
But that's not a foundation. You're just
No,
adding more stuff to
building
you.
on, right. You're building on a foundation.
And the thing is, I want people to understand that you must have that foundation. It's in order for it to be solid.
True,
If you want something that's solid,
true,
and one thing I tell people that I can't bring you happiness. Happiness is within. So if you're finding a feeling to have when you with someone, you might want to build your own foundation first,
true that. There's only
because
be
go ahead.
there's only be building on that what you get.
Yes, yeah. So you build on it, and one
True,
thing is some people don't build; they just say, "Oh, I just want to be with you." Well, why do you want to be with me?
true.
If you can't answer that, then how can we build anything if you don't know the
You
answer?
don't know what we're doing.
So they're basing it off of feeling, and sometimes that's not always well for people. So definitely, feelings are getting in the way of a lot of things, and we make sometimes rational decisions by using our feelings.
True,
So just understand that we did talk about having a strong inner foundation is an important part of intentional living because it helps you make decisions that shape your future for the better.
true.
And what does we are we saying that anybody is better than anybody? No, we're not. We're saying that whatever your better is specifically for you, that's your better.
That's yours.
That's yours.
Mm-hmm.
If you mess it up, it's still your better.
Still yours.
Still yours. And we use a lot of your and you because a lot of people really depend on people to move them.
True.
And it's sad to say that a lot of people need people to help them move because they have not um, built their identity.
But we all need people to in order to build and to motivate and to move.
Hmm.
But you got to have a foundation of motivation in order to receive motivation. It's just like
Right.
friendship.
Hmm.
You can't get friendship if you're not friendly.
Right. Well,
So
that's true.
motivation is the same way. You got to have some
Right.
inner motivation to get some outer motivation.
Right. And then we talked about five things you can build your inner foundation upon, which is the mindset, which is the quality of your thoughts,
Mhm.
your values, what's important to you, your habits, daily routines that keep you grounded,
Right.
strengths, the things you're naturally good at, and relationships, like you stated, people who make you feel secure and supported. And if you're not relational and you're always negative, guess what? You're gonna get negative relationships.
True that.
So I think we got to understand whatever we manifest or whatever we do, that's what we're gonna be a part of. And sometimes, even in your positive relationship, you're gonna end up getting some negative people because people want your shine or whatever you have about you, and they can become quite admire of what your shine is or your glow or whatever it is. So you got to be mindful of those manipulators too as well. I forgot what I called them before, but um, I know you wowed about it because I said what they call it. What I call it? Energy stealers.
True.
People that drain your energy. They just come and put their booster cables on and get a boost off. So you got to be mindful for people who don't water you back. So
Mm.
that's one thing. Are there any questions? We just want to make sure that we are talking to our audience today, and this is particularly for each and everyone that's listening. No matter what time you listen, no matter what country you're in, what's your foundation in life? This does not actually speak about your family. It's what's your foundation in life, because sometimes we take on values and different things. So you should have your own mindset. You should have your own values. You should have your own habits. You should have your own strengths. You should have your own relationships that you're building. personally. And that's what matters. Okay. Any
True.
other questions? Any other comments?
A person might say they don't have their own, but you do have when you don't think you have.
Right.
So everybody got them. So God gave it to everybody, just like He
Hmm.
gave us breath. We all have it.
Right. We all have it. So one
How
thing
we
we
use
must
them,
go
how
ahead.
we use them is another thing.
Yeah. How you use them, and
Right,
if you're using them wisely.
right.
So, and what does that mean? Got to get better with the use of them. Um, what was the thing? If you can't be a good steward of them, he'll definitely take them away. So as we leave here today, we just want to say thank you guys. In my lesson today, we talked about pressures, and I did talk about the book coming out too as well, which is we all have pressures in life, and no matter what race, creed, nationality, religion, spirituality, or whatever, we all have pressures in life.
All of them. That's true.
And the thing is the book that I'm writing is about. I don't care what color you are, we are going to have it, but those are difficult conversations no one want to talk about, um, which is past experience, past traumas, past things. But they in this book, it's how people related and moved for the better once they learn how to do better. And that's one thing that I've learned, that once you know better, you do better.
True.
Um, and that's a process. It's a process for everybody, because sometimes in that process we get sidetracked by different relationships, different things. Stuff happens, and I call them transitional sessions that happen within the whole gamut of you're trying to process what that looks like. So I think for me, it's still, we're still processing daily, but making sure that you're processing more healthy. Turn that TV off. Oh, please do. Please turn the TV off, because it's just going to lead you to a world of trouble. Because the media alone is just not good at this time and point. Um, but yet and still, we love our whatever. So I'm a very, very quiet type of person, and I sit right here in my own little space and don't listen to anything but the tonight is going on in my ears. So, any other questions or any other comments?
No,
Foundation in life. That's a big one. And I think what we really need to understand is you already were predestined to have one. But you need to, number one, we say it all the time, is surrender.
true.
And that's an important thing. And what does surrendering mean to you? Surrendering means to me is giving my all, my time, my finances, my everything, to God, whom I serve. I don't know about anybody as far as a higher being and things like that, but somewhere you must have a higher purpose, higher goal, or a higher power that you are some service to. So we just want to put that out there. So we want to definitely thank everyone for joining. Definitely listen to us at www.therise.live. Once the book do come out, if you want to email me, you can email me at the tr Judah Judah um, dot at outlook.com, and that's the tr Judah at outlook.com. Because we are planning on doing a second series to that, and probably more series. The more information we get back from people too as well. This will always also be in the book too as well, so people can write, so we can make different volumes, so the world can know about it. Because these are different conversations that people need to have, and we would love to put your story and vignettes, as we call them, in the book too as well. As we say, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell your spouse. We here on Sunday, Sunday Jewels on the Rise. We'll be on Instagram Live and at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. Oh no, that's not. Yes, it is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're always here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can join Greater Tabernacle Ministries. You know I don't ever have that number on me. I know it's 774 something. Um, um,
258
258
6705.
6705 774 258 6705.
702. Correct.
Greater Tabernacle Ministries. Every Wednesday, that's tomorrow. Definitely join us on tomorrow for a Bible study. We're in 1 Corinthians, the second chapter.
Correct.
And also in 10th verse. We stopped at the 10th. So what we normally do is that's at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time, 6:15 Central Standard Time. You can join us for church too as well on every Sunday. And that's 9:45 Eastern Standard Time and 8:45 Central Standard Time. So we definitely want to see you at any place where you can just get the word. Also, just doing what we need to do. Every second Tuesday, we do repairing spiritual relationships too as well. Church hurt is what we call it. And that's every second
Thursday.
Thursday of the month. Every second Thursday of the month. And that is at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time at 6:15 Central Standard Time. So, like we already said, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell your spouse, and heck, tell everyone. Heck, tell everyone. HECK, tell everyone. We'll see you on our next podcast. And always remember, love. Love. If you don't know how to love, at least tell someone, appreciate someone daily. That's one thing that we need to do in this world as we continue, because this podcast is about love, self-assessment, and also being appreciative of one another each and every day. The more positivity you spread is the more that it becomes infectious. So let's be infectious people and actually spread love, spread appreciation, and also spread the word about the Rise Creating Voice, because we are here and we're ready to keep going in God's name. All right? Good night.